Welcome back, Wolf Scouts, for Activity 14, setting up tents, tying knots, and marble games. Hemp Hill, Camino Real, Blanco Vista Elementary, and all others are welcome.
For more fun activities at home, visit our YouTube channel, Sacred Springs Scout Reach. Please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Show the Cub Scout sign. Tell what it means. Make the sign with your right hand. Hold your arm straight up. The two raised fingers stand for the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. The fingers look like the sharp ears of the wolf, ready to listen to Okela. Remember that Okela means good leader to a Cub Scout. Your mother or father or guardian is Okela. So is your Cub Master or your den leader. At school, your teacher is Okela.
Say the Cub Scout motto. Tell what it means. The Cub Scout motto is do your best. A motto is a guiding principle and a rule for living. Do your best means trying your hardest, not just a little bit. Do your best all the time. Do your best in school and at home. Do your best when you play a game and help your team. Do your best as you work on your rank adventures.
Let's go camping! Requirement 4. With your family or den, make a list of possible weather changes that might happen on your campout according to the time of year you are camping. Tell how you will be prepared for each one. Camping is great when you are ready for any kind of weather. If you get caught in a rain shower in a t-shirt, you will be sopping wet and cold. But if you have rubber boots and a waterproof jacket and pants, you can keep on having fun. With your den leader or parent, talk about the different kinds of weather that could happen where you are going to camp. Can the temperature or weather change a lot from morning to night? Make a list below of possible weather you can run into. Write the gear you will bring along to be prepared for the weather. The weather and what I will bring to be prepared.
Hey everybody, this is Rob, the Director of Customer Service at the Crossroads of America Council. I'm excited to be here for another Scouting Skill of the Day. Today we're going to talk about setting up tents. This is, in the grand scheme of things, a very easy thing to do, but it takes some practice. If you haven't done the practice beforehand in your backyard, guaranteed that first camp out, when that tent comes out of the box for the first time, it's going to be dark, it's going to be cold, it's going to be windy, and it's going to be no fun for anybody. So the first thing we're going to do before we even pull that tent out of the bag is we're going to figure out where we want to set it up at, and we're going to make sure the ground is clear. We're going to take a quick minute, we're going to pick up a bunch of twigs and debris off the ground here where we're going to set it up, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the ground all cleared out here where we're going to set the tent up. We've got a Gannett 4 tent by Peregrine right here. This will be the first time out of the bag for it, so we'll be setting it up together for the very first time. Okay, so we've taken the tent out of the bag and we've got a bunch of different parts here we've got to deal with. We've got a footprint, we've got the body of the tent itself, we've got a rain fly, and over here we've got poles and we've got tent stakes. First thing we're going to do, we're going to grab the rain fly right here and we're going to lay it out on the ground. Okay, we've got our rain fly all laid out. Fantastic feature about this one, I did not realize it's got a logo on the footprint. Logo face up, that means the tarp is face up. Convenient as all get out. Now we're going to lay the tent body over the top of it. Because this is a two-door tent, There is no front and back. We've got doors on each side of it. So we're going to lay it out nice and flat and right over top of the footprint itself. Okay, we've got the body of the tent laid out right over top of its footprint. Now we're going to take the poles and we're going to get them all set up and into place. Now most of the tent poles you're going to come across are going to have this elastic shock cord in them, which means they're all connected into one piece. You simply have to assemble them and get them all flat together in one section. Okay, you can see we've got two long pole sections right here. This is easier to do with two people helping you, but it's very capable to do by yourself with just one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this end of the pole right here. We are going to insert it through both of these grommets that we see at the base of the tent, right here. And now we're going to run to the other corner. We're going to grab this end of the pole and we're going to do the same thing over here on this end. And you're going to see how that pole flexes and bends up, just like that. We're going to let it fall over the way it is, and we're going to let it rest there while we do the other one. All right, so we've got both of our main cross poles in place in the corners. Obviously, the tent body isn't set up yet. So all we're going to do to start is we're going to grab the very center hook you see right down here, and we're going to lift it up into place, and we're going to clip it over both of those poles at the same time, just like that. Now we're going to go through and we're going to attach all of these hooks along the sides. All right, it's starting to look like a tent. We've got all the clips in place on all the poles. We see the body all set up. I opened up one of the doors just because I felt like it. Now the next step is going to be getting the rain fly in place over top of the tent body. It's not a necessity, but if there's a chance you're going to have bad weather, if you think there's going to be rain, it's always a good idea to have it set up. If you know you're in the clear, it's not a requirement, it's not a necessity. You can leave it nice and open. You can see the stars up in the sky at night. Totally up to you. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this set in place real quick. Okay, the rain flies over the top and in place. Last step is going to be staking it all out. I'm going to do a quick side note while we're here. If you look right down here at the hook where the rain fly attaches to the body of the tent, you'll notice this is all the same color. This is green and this down here is green. That is the case for every single one of these all the way around the tent. It's not a problem, but it isn't necessarily as user-friendly as it could be. If we look over here real quick at the Eureka, you'll see this is yellow and the bottom, the base of the tent is yellow too. Every other one on this particular tent is black, which means if you match up yellow to yellow, that rain flies in exactly the right space. So all we did was take some yellow electrical tape and we put a piece here and we put a piece here on this. What that means is when we set this up the next time, we're gonna know if we match up those two colors, everything else is gonna fit and work perfectly. So the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our tent stakes and we're gonna stake this tent out into the ground so that if our wind does pick up, it isn't gonna blow anywhere on us. All right, we've got all the stakes in place. We've got them in the corners, we've got them down along the side, and we've got them here holding our vestibule out. And this tent is officially ready for sleeping in tonight. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like it, share it, tell your scouting friends about it, and continue scouting at home. Thank you.
Requirement 2. Show how to tie an overhand knot and a square knot. Tying knots is an important scout skill. It is also something you will use throughout your life. Some of the knots you will learn in scouting have been used for thousands of years. Every knot has a special purpose. Some knots join pieces of rope together. Some knots that don't slip are used for rescues. Other knots are perfect for tying down equipment. You can adjust these knots and they will still hold. Overhand knot. An overhand knot is simple. You can use it to keep a rope from going through a pulley, a hole, or to make a rope easier to grip. An overhand knot is also the first step for some other knots. You will need a single strand of rope to practice this knot. First, make a loop in the end of a rope. Next, tuck the end of the rope through the loop. And third, pull the end of the rope to tighten the knot.
Hint: do you need a larger knot to stop a rope from going through a big hole? You can make a larger stopper knot by adding a second overhand knot after the first one. Square knot. The main use of a square knot is to join the ends of two ropes. This is why it is called the joining knot in scouting. You can use both ends of one piece of rope to make a square knot, or two different colored pieces of rope. Hold one end of a rope in one hand and the other end of the rope in your other hand, or hold a different colored rope in each hand. 2, bring the right side rope over the left side rope. Go under and around the left side rope with the right side rope. 3, now bring the left side rope over the right side rope. Go under and around the right side rope with the left side rope. 4, pull both ends firmly. The knot will not hold its shape without being tightened.
Learn a magic rope trick. Hold your arms across your chest, lean forward, and pick up one end of the rope in each hand. Unfold your arms, and you have tied an overhand knot.
Marble Madness. Snapshot of adventure. Long before there were board games and video games, kids played with marbles. Those little balls of glass are just as fun to play with now as they were back then. In this adventure, you'll get to play several different marble games, including one you make up yourself. You'll also learn some special words only marble players know and discover how to use marbles in mazes, obstacle courses, and more. Are you ready? Then grab your taws, Aggies, and cat's eyes, and let's play marbles. Requirement 1. Discuss with your family and den the history of marbles, such as where and when the game began. Talk about the different sizes of marbles and what they are made of and used for. Did you know that marbles have been around for a long time? Your grandparents may have played marbles. Their grandparents may have played marbles. And their grandparents may have played marbles. In fact, marbles have been found in Egyptian tombs and in Pueblo ruins in the southwestern United States. No one knows for sure where and when people started playing marbles. They may have started at different times and places by playing with stones, nuts, fruit pits, and other smooth round objects. Here are some fun facts about marbles. When he was young, the Roman Emperor Augustus played with marbles made of nuts. In 1503, the town of Nuremberg, Germany, passed a law that marbles had to be played outside the town limits.
In the 1700s, people played using chips of marble, which is where the game got its name. In the early 1900s, marbles were made by machine for the first time. The British and World Marble Championship has been played in Tinsley Green, England, every year since 1932, but the tradition began there in 1588. Marbles come in many different sizes and colors, and they are used for different things. Larger marbles are used as shooters, while smaller marbles are used as targets. Here are some types of marbles. Cat's eye. Marbles have a swirl of color inside. Tall marbles are between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch in diameter. They are used as shooters. Alley marbles are made of alabaster or marble. Some are made of glass that looks like alabaster or marble. Aggie marbles are made of the mineral agate. Some are made of glass but look like agate. True Aggies are good shooters because they are harder than other marbles. Kami, or common marbles, are originally made out of clay. They are the plainest looking marbles. Requirement 2. Learn about 3 different marble games and learn to play the marble game Ringer. Learn how to keep score. Learn and follow the rules of the game. Play the game with your family, friends, or your den. There are many different games of marble. and each game has its own set of rules and directions. Here are 3 games to try. Ringer. Any number of players can play this game. Draw a ring on the ground about 10 feet across. Put 13 marbles in the middle of the ring, arranged in an X shape. They should be about 3 inches apart. The first player kneels outside the ring and uses his shooter to try to shoot a marble out of the ring. If he misses, his turn is over, and he picks up his shooter. If he has a hit and his shooter stays in the ring, he can shoot again from where the shooter stopped. If he has a hit and his shooter goes out of the ring, his turn is over. He keeps any marbles that go out of the ring. When the first player's turn is over, the second player takes his turn, etc. Keep playing until time is up or most of the marbles have been knocked out. The player with the most marbles is the winner.
Join us next time for Activity 15, Our Community, Art Explosion, and more marble games. If you are interested in joining a pack near you, visit beascout.scouting.org.